Why is all my extra RAM marked as hardware reserved in Windows 7? I have a new HP Z800 workstation, running Windows 7 Enterprise 64-bit. Z800 specs are here. The machine has 4 GB of RAM, Windows reported 1.99 GB available, 2 GB was hardware reserved. I added another 2 GB in Windows reports that there is 6 GB of physical RAM, but now 4 GB is hardware reserved. The BIOS sees the full RAM amount as well. The video card is an NVIDIA Quadro FX 580, so it shouldn't be using any shared memory at all. Why is all my extra RAM marked as hardware reserved in Windows 7?
Turns out that the installed RAM was in an unsupported config. On this machine, if you install 2 GB chips, they have to be installed in triple, as referenced here, PDF. It's interesting to note that Windows saw the memory, but it was rendered not usable and marked as hardware reserved.
Ouch, sad to hear about the reinstall. There is a great Mark Russinovich blog post that explains how Windows uses physical memory. Hardware devices can reserve large blocks of physical address space. To see if a piece of hardware is reserving a large chunk of physical address space, launch devmgm.msc, select Resources by Connection in the View menu, and expand the memory node. Mark's blog explains this further. Even though your video card has onboard, fast, dedicated video memory, Windows still has to address and interact with that memory using the same physical memory addressing that it uses for RAM, PC devices and other devices. This can crowd the physical address space. 64-bit OS should cope better with this than a 32-bit OS, but its hands may still be tied some device requirements. My Dell has 700 MB hardware reserved on Win 7 by 64. It's not nearly as bad as your issue, but still annoying. It would be helpful to know if a tool like Mumtest, which boots and runs without Windows, can see all of the installed RAM. Try some of the system info tools on the UP to see if they can see and test all of your RAM. This would let you know if Windows has anything to do with it. As a final thought, you bought it new from a major vendor. You should be able to get a support from them, and ask them about the issue. They can often get to the bottom of this sort of issue much faster than searching around on the internet, and you've already paid for this service. Edit. This question may be related to your issue, and there is another good explanation of the how memory mapped I/O reservations can reduce the usable RAM. Again, this may not be exactly the problem you are facing, but those blogs tell you how you can determine if it is. Let us know.
I had this same issue and have fixed it on my particular machine. I was showing 4 grams reserved in HW. I went into the NB BIOS and under chipset configuration/internal graphics/ I changed the setting for frame buffer location from above 4 grams to below 4 grams, and now I have 1 MB in HW reserved and not 4 grams. Windows sees all G as usable.
For anyone still having this issue, press Start and GT, Run. Type this config. Go under the Boot tab. Click Advanced Options button.
Uncheck maximum memory. Reboot. Helped for me, got still reserved only 9 MB from totally of 6 GB.
Please listen to the